Hey, hello guys. Let me just check if everything is working. Seems like it is. Okay, so um, you're seeing my Notion board for my tasks. As you see, I have 3 burning tasks to do today. Tomorrow, by the way, is a day off in Russia, International Labor Day. If you celebrate, then, well, congrats to you too. Before we go to this landing page, I want also to show, if anyone watched yesterday's video, where we were drafting a blog article, what came out of it. So, first of all, I completed all the points, structured them, and as I said, I also asked Becky to complete the article to turn it into something, well, that will actually read well. You can see she already started here. Let's accept this. It will be probably a collaboration article. We will be both mentioned as authors. And right now it's at 1,700 words, which is already quite a lot. And perhaps with Becky's additions it will be over 2,000. But, well, I think given that the whole conference took 12 hours, it's pretty possible that people will be eager to read it. I think I'm having connection problems. Sorry for the silence. I was just trying to figure out if everything is working because my live dashboard shows that it's not. But anyway, write in the chat if you're experiencing any issues. I will be looking every now and then. Okay, so now off to the landing page we have to write. So the thing is here that SmartCat is many things in one, and it all started with just a cat tool. Then there was the marketplace added on top and a lot of other things, and in the end it turned out like a full-fledged system for running your business or for running your freelance activities. And we now want to make it all official by promoting ourselves and calling ourselves a TMS system. So we need a landing page that will say just that. And if you read the description to this video, you know that I said that it's one of the toughest kinds of content to write. And the reason for this is that you have to cut a lot of things when you write a landing page. When you're writing a blog article on the same topic, you Can add the story, you can add some connecting words and phrases. On a landing page it should be all boiled down to like 200 to 300 words that should work to make the viewers to click the CTA. It's also one of the most critical pieces of content because many more people will see it than perhaps read a blog article, and so you have to pay attention to every word you use. It's a doc for this, so I'm using this dummy doc as a boilerplate for all content I'm writing because it has the sharing settings that I need. I just click make a copy, and I'm also always using the same title across all types of content. In this way I can always reach it quickly if I'm browsing on Google, Chrome or wherever. So let's also start the timer. I need to count the time I spend on every task for myself because I want to know how productive I am with every piece of content, with every kind of content I'm writing, because in the end it helps me set the rates for copywriting adequately. For example, by doing this, I know already that landing pages are harder to write, and I know exactly how much harder they are to write, so I know that I should set probably 2 times higher rate per word for writing a landing page. Anyway, let's start with something. TMS 1. I will likely change this, but the point I want to make here is that it doesn't make sense to have both a TMS and a CAT system if you can have just one system, whatever you call it. You can call it SmartCat, and in this case not pay twice for very similar stuff. We actually have a blog article about this, so let me also find that blog article. TMS. Oh, I think it's already published, by the way. Yeah, here it is. Five reasons not to use separate TMS and CAT. I will be using points from here, most likely. And I also need to take a look at the brief. So there was this initial brief that Brian, hi Brian, if you're watching this, gave me. But I also want to include the points we had here. So this landing page, if you see here, even if it has not been developed yet, because we are now working very hard to complete all this TMS offering, so this landing page should come together with the moment when we start advertising ourselves as a TMS, so it should be ready before this. Nothing of use here. Whole journey. If Eric Birkeland is watching this, he will love this because I know he loves the word journey. Requests, customer requests, delivering translations, payments. All of this. It's very draft right now, but you'll be liking. Artyom, yes, Google Docs is my main tool. I tried using some other stuff. For example, I tried using Markdown editors for blog articles because we have our articles stored on Ghost, which accepts Markdown. So sometimes I will use Markdown to write a blog article, but the problem here is that I want to see the document as it will be on the screen. Of course, Google Docs is not the same as seeing it live on a blog article, but you need to see like how paragraphs are structured and so on. I also tried using Notion, but frankly, I think Notion is not the best tool for copy. So far, Google Docs works just fine, and I don't see a lot of reasons to change this. It's also very handy to work with a proofreader after me, because they can make suggestions, I can accept them, I can add comments, they can add comments. So I think from the point of view of collaboration, I haven't seen anything that works as well as Google Docs. Let us quickly. So a typical landing page looks something like this. I will maybe put it. I can open some landing page, for example, but it's generally like one tagline that it should catch the attention, and perhaps the hardest part is to catch everything you need to have in just one sentence. It's not easy, but it's important, because otherwise a lot of people will not keep on reading. Then you have some paragraph that describes it in more detail. Then you have, I don't know what people usually call them, but let's say so bullets with 4 or 5 points with the biggest values for the customer, not for you, that they will take from using this product or service or whatever. I will just write them there. There are more than 4 here, but I will have to choose several from them, because the human mind only can digest 4 items at once. So if you're making it 5 or 6, you're making it harder for the user to digest, and hence you're making it less convertible. I don't know if it's the right word. So this page will convert worse. Integrations, I don't think it's that important stuff to mention it here. Tagline ideas. Why have a system to manage another system? I think we will put it somewhere in the end. System. It will be like a concluding thought that if you already have a CAT tool, you do not need another tool to just basically manage it. By the way, one other thing why landing pages are so long to write is because once you have prepared the draft and submitted it to the customer or to internal customer, they will more than likely have tons of comments and review suggestions, and you will have to rework it again and again. So it takes much more time than in case of, I don't know, an email or a blog article. The CTA is also an important part, because you want it to be relevant both for the viewer in general and for the context that is around it. So you can of course always like say create your free account today, but at the same time you might want to make it more relevant to the text that precedes it. So maybe something like it's also lame. I will need to rethink it. So what we have? So we have one tagline, limited seats, all in one. I guess. We don't want the text here to be too long, and I actually often write something that's longer and then I have to review it again and again and again. We called it unlimited seats. Now I think our way to go is to call it no license. It's a dubious way to, but that's the way we decided, so we have to use it everywhere, meaning that we do not count per user licenses. So you can invite all your project managers, linguists, administrators. Count. Access settings. It's also important that every part, every bullet list is of the same size. It also holds for most other things too. So if you're writing a blog article like 10 things to blah blah blah, you want every of these things to be approximately the same size. You cannot make one like half paragraph and another one 5 paragraphs. You must strive to make it look better because it will read better this way. It doesn't mean that if you have half a paragraph for one item and the other one is 3 paragraphs that you have to write 3 paragraphs of waffle in the first one. No, do not ever do this. It means that you can, maybe this one item is not that big of an item to separate it out at all. So maybe you have to rethink the structure. Or maybe the 3 paragraphs in the other item is either too much waffle, or maybe you can separate this big item into 2 items. By the way, why don't I share this link to this doc in the chat so you can add your suggestions. No lock in. Whatever files you work with, always them industry standard. So use them industry standard. Something's not right here. Industry standard. Okay. Other two. Use them in any other tool you use. See, this one is pretty short here. I don't like this. So get to you get. I don't like to repeat the word tool, but okay. Another GMS. Okay. I don't know what numbers we currently have. I will use 350. Maybe it's 300. I don't know. I have 200 words. My usual goal for landing page is 300 to 500 words. It may be more if it's on a very sophisticated topic and you want to clarify maybe each of these points. Maybe we will need it at some later point, but for now I want to write this like in Russian we call it fish, riba, but I don't know what they call it in English, by the way. So, like the basic scaffolding for all the rest. So we have 4 items here, and we are kind of missing portal and integrations. And we are like, we need some more content here anyway, so maybe it's a good idea to show how the actual system works, so include some screenshots or screencasts here. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So this would be in a nutshell. Then we'll have section saying how it works. Here we'll put subsections like, let me also make this, turn this into headings. I'm a very structured minded guy, so I don't like when people just like do things without structure, and I hate doing this myself too. We'll put here, so yeah, first you have this one tagline, then you have one paragraph, then you have 4 like main points you want to bring, and then you have more detailed how it works section. So it all works like from small to large, so, from the tagline to detailed description. Of course, sometimes you do not want to go too detailed, so you can just give a link to a help article or something. But it also might not be a good idea to give too many links inside your landing page, because ideally you want just one link, and it's the link for the CTA. You can put it obviously in many places across the page, but you don't want people to click away and never come back. I don't want to write a lot of text here, because the main part here will be the workspace itself, so the screenshots or screencuts. Perhaps it's a good idea to shoot it with like more detail, but for now I have just an example. Hey, where's Mike? Yeah, here we have. I don't have too many projects here. I also want to show that we can have multilingual projects, so let me create something from scratch here. I don't know. I need some documents. I'll add my LinkedIn bio, and I'll perhaps specify several languages here. Also add a couple of stages, so as to show people that there can be different also. Let me make some Russian translation. Use further. It might be a good idea not to do it right away, because you switch your mind from one task to another task. Why is it working so slowly today? Not the greatest ad for SmartCat, but I think something's not right. Yeah, the third reason landing pages are harder to write, because you sometimes just have to include like product screenshots. Of course, it's possible that someone else does this for you, but first, there will not always be people who will do this like quickly or the same way you want it. And second, that only you can do it in the way you want it to be. No, I'm just saying obvious things now, but Hey, can you please pre-translate my bill? Anyway, let's switch to something else like with the built-in get editor, your managers here's able to progress of each translation. Do you hear that sound? That's my son. It's in the finest detail. The finest detail. Hey, where's my pre-translation? Anyway, let's put it like this. Screenshot. Screenshot cast of space. You see that I'm putting your managers everywhere here because I'm thinking that the target persona here is an owner of a translation company, because these are the people that will most likely make the buying decision. But it's not a bad idea. It's actually a good idea to have landing pages for different personas and like promote them separately, target them separately, so that project managers see a landing page that is intended for project managers and owners see the page for owners. It can be generally a similar page, similar looking page, but you might want to change some wordings or the order of some things to make the ones that are more important higher on the list. But that's something I should have mentioned from the very beginning. I think it's the most important thing when you're writing a landing page, is to know who you are writing it for. By the way, that's pin. He's from Sweden, and I have cut off the label, but I think it was Malaysia. Yeah, Artyom, I'm glad you do. I'll need to have a lunch soon, and I think we are now over half an hour, so I think now let me finish this, because if you don't finish something in one run, it will keep haunting you, and we'll be able to assign contributors, translators, editors, TTP specialists, work right on the platform. You don't need a separate accounting system. Payments are collected in one place. You can notice that I'm writing this pretty fast because I generally know what SmartCat is and how it works. But if you are writing a landing page for something that you will need to like study, research, analyze, then it will take maybe an hour more, or even more than that. One, two, three, four, five, six. Привет. Скажешь всем привет? Не хочешь? Ну ладно. So, I'm now taking a look at this article I wrote, which says 5 reasons not to use separate TMS and CAT tools. It's pretty negative. I mean, it says why you should not do something, but we want the landing page to say why we want to do something. I'll think about it later. So portal, if you want to go to the next level, you can create a public portal where all your customers and prospects to upload documents, to translate and track their steps. It's free. For free. I don't know if we can see that for free relates to you can create rather than to customers and prospects will be able to upload, but perhaps it's obvious from the context, but yeah, we'll see. Integrations. If you want to go to the next level and enable continuous localization process for your customers, to pre-built integrations and an open API for you to use. I don't know if I'm going too technical here. I will leave it to the internal customer, which is Brian Montpetit, to decide and provide feedback. I think we can also include some reference to this pandemic thing that's going on. I am including here the link, although I'm not sure if it's a good idea. I will think a bit about it more. Ask yourself to manage another system. Maybe we can make it smaller so as not to distract the user. Especially in times like this. Also, we need to include, I think we can include CTA after everything here. Artem asks, I don't see you using any tools for real-time spell checking. Is it the next level of error slapping technique? I'm just a loser that can type in text without the help of language tool. Well, first of all, Google Docs has built-in spell checking, so if I write something incorrectly, it changes it. It also has an auto-suggestion feature. I did use Grammarly at some point, but, well, I didn't find it that useful for myself. And the biggest reason I don't do this is because I have the luxury of a native speaking proofreader after me, so if I phrase something in an awkward way, Becky, it's almost always Becky, will likely correct it and make it shine, so yeah, I'm lucky to have her. Rate your free account today. Okay, so now we're at almost 400 words. I don't feel like it's like 100% complete. I'm pretty sure there are things that can be improved, but you need to start with something. Brian. Here's the first draft. Also included here. Words. I log the number of words here so I can make some analysis further. Delivered today, status, text, ready. Well, that's it. I think that was like pretty fast, half an hour. Not bad actually. But of course there's still a lot of work to do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll go grab some lunch and you grab yours, and see you next time. Where's this button to close everything? Okay, ta-ta.